afternoon, Year 7s. My name is Angelo Vallis, and I'm your teacher. Today we're going to go through the topic of the water cycle. It's a great day to explain the water cycle today because we've had all stages occur. There's 6 main stages in the water cycle, starting with precipitation, which we also know as rain. You can actually see we've had rain today because there is puddles. Just have a look on the road. Stage 2, surface runoff. This occurs in 2 types: rivers on top of the ground, and surface runoff in the underground water systems. This goes to our 3rd stage of accumulation. Now, water accumulates, has to go somewhere. This is in lakes, and the major one, the oceans. Stage 4 is evaporation. Water evaporates from the oceans and the lakes and goes into our stage 6, which we will go to. Stage 5, transpiration. Now if we go over here, transpiration is water evaporating from plants, trees. So they're actually quite a major part in the water cycle. And our 6th stage, condensation, which we can see today. Let's have a look over here. You can see some dark greyish things. We know them as clouds. So condensation is cloud formation. So, we're going to go back inside. We're going to have a further look into the detailed stages and we'll have a look. The water cycle. The water cycle has many components. 1, the land. Now the thing you got to remember about the land is the topography. So you have mountains, you have flats, you have dips. But all these parts of the land really help in the water cycle. The next part are the trees. Trees, plants, grass, all have a valid role in the water cycle. As mentioned in our land, we talked about topography. Now this influences another component, the lakes and our runoff. Lakes, river systems, underground water systems all help with the water cycle. Our major component is the ocean. The ocean and lakes are where all the water accumulates, and this is huge for the development of the water cycle. Now another major part is the sky, because we all know where water comes from, and this will be explained when we go through the stages of the water cycle. Our first stage is precipitation. Now, precipitation comes from clouds, and we know it as rain. Rain happens over the earth, and then forms into our surface runoff. Surface runoff happens in 2 ways. We have surface runoff of the land, which is through our river systems, or we have underground systems. Our 3rd stage is transpiration. When we said trees, grass, plants all have a vital role, we were talking about how water evaporates during photosynthesis from trees and plants and goes into the sky. Now, the water, when it is in our surface runoff stage, has to go somewhere. And this goes to our accumulation points, the ocean and lakes. So once these places have accumulated, they have a massive stage, which is evaporation. Evaporation and transpiration are very similar. just where the water source is different. Once these water sources have been evaporated or transpired, they go into the clouds, which we call condensation. So in simple terms, this is just cloud formation. Once there is enough water, it goes back to our first stage and it becomes precipitation again. So in a basic sense, we see, water on the surface in the ocean. It is evaporated or transpired, goes up into the clouds in condensation, forms clouds, then it comes down in the form of precipitation. So it is quite a simple cycle, and it happens very often, but we just don't realise it. Thanks. Your task. Draw and label your own water cycle. Your second stage of your task is take a picture of each stage of the water cycle. For example, precipitation, a picture of it outside raining. Look for puddles. Surface runoff, go down to the Swan River, take a picture of the river. Transpiration, we know what affects this, trees and plants. Accumulation, go down to Scarborough, down to the beach. Condensation, clouds forming. And this can also be part of your evaporation. And we're back to precipitation. Get creative. Thanks.